Hello and welcome back to Stranded Deep, welcome back to the map editor, and welcome back to this island we are creating. We are on the PC version of the game, the Steam version of the game, and as always, I'm just going to quickly run through the controls because there are new people here. There's always new people here. The controls are W to go forward, S to go back, A to go left, D to go right, Q to go down, E to go up, but that's not all. If you hit the right mouse button and pan around, well, that's panning the camera around. And if we go down onto an empty area of beach, we can get something out of the toolbox. Let's go and hit structures, plane wreck, and drag this out. We also have R to rotate, T to transform, C to clone, delete, deletes, and if you click on something, press F for foxtrot, that focuses. If you click on something a little bit smaller, you should be able to focus closer. It's done on the size of the model. There are other things that you have to be careful of. That includes the camera. It doesn't have a constant velocity. The closer you are to a bunch of objects, the slower the camera is going to be, and after a while, it's just going to look like you've got monstrous lag. Oh. Show me the monstrous... There you go. Little jumpy camera effect. Yeah, pile up a bunch of objects and then run the camera by it and you're going to stutter around. Will it ever be fixed? No, pretty much not. I don't think Ben and Sam are really working on this game. You might get a few patches every now and again. The other thing you need to be aware of that on the PC version of the game, the sand is polygonal. No matter how much you smooth it, you save, you come back, and that smooth sand is now a bunch of polygonal, vertices, I guess. We just have to do what we can do. That's been that way since 1.0. And the last thing, if we hit up terrain and we have these three brushes, raise and lower, set, and smooth height, there is no undo in the game. You can't control Z to undo things. This mount slider, this one here, the one that I'm wiggling around, this one here. Well, if you're going around and smoothing the sand, I mean, it's still a useful tool. The smooth tool is still a useful tool. See? I mean, it looks smooth now, but save it, come back, and it'll be all jaggedy, higgledy-piggledy. Well, wait a minute. What if I click on this button, raise and lower height? But that mouse slider hasn't changed. If I now left-click, I'll have a spike all the way to the moon. And we don't want that for two reasons. We need the moon for tides, and also, I don't need that much cheese in my life. Well, at least not Wensleydale. Maybe a little bit of mature cheddar. But not Wensleydale. Anyway, we've been working on this island. What is this island? This is, I mean, we were going to make an island anyway, but it's a part request, and the request was, ooh, can we have a cave that runs through the middle that I can put a boat in? Yes, we've done exactly that, but because caves are big, ugly, and boring, and because we've used Cliff 6 just to make a big old archway in order to make it look a little bit more au naturel, we've gone in and we've put in trees, we've put in cocoa bushes, we've put in pathways, we've put in bits and pieces to make it look a little less like a pile of rocks and a little bit more like a natural forest floor. We've also added things like these rocks to the end of this peninsula. We've added pathways. We've added curios like the radar tower. Ooh, and last time we added this, which is a little jetty that goes out to sea, broken, covered in rocks. You probably can't park your raft next to that comfortably. Although maybe this side you can. And this side would definitely work because we can tell the current, the way the waves are pushing, would actually push you against the end of this jetty. In fact, if we move this rock a little bit, you would actually end up with a functioning jetty. Well. That's curious in the way that works. But that's not what I wanted to do. We've spent a lot of time on this side of the island. We even have another little curio just poking out the sand and a nice flat area for building in. But what we've largely been doing is ignoring this side of the island, which is a little bit unnatural. Can you tell why it looks unnatural? Big empty area of sand. Big empty area of sand is not why it looks unnatural. It looks unnatural because the sand is bowed outwards without any physical sign of anything holding the sand there. Sand is just a bunch of particles. It's silica. Mostly silica, bits of rock, Depending on where you are in the world, maybe shell from the parrotfish, just chewing things up and pooping it out. But typically beaches don't end up like this. Maybe on a river, but not really. So we're going to do something to make this work. We could take the terrain tool, we could take the raise and lower, and we could brush in, little scallop the beach. That would kind of work, but then we would lose land. And although the island looks small in the map editor, and we're going to have to look up at the sky. Praise the sun! Whoop. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to, let's put the time in the middle. It's the display ocean button. If we untick it and then look down, there we go, no ocean. Why do you praise the sun? If you don't praise the sun, the shadows don't get locked to the ground. Anyway, now we can see how little distance there is between the sand and the edge of the island, this big old cake of an island. We don't really have much area to go swimming on the outside. The island is huge. It's enormous. It's almost as big as you can get away with. There are some areas which we could possibly put in some wrecks, but for the large part, yeah, we've built outwards as much as we can. Which means if we're going to do something here, we have to be creative and clever. Which is going to involve turning the ocean back on. And then it's going to go objects, and then we're going to go structures. I think we kind of teased this last time. Oh, the sea fort bridge. I want the sea fort bridge. Do-ba-do-ba-do. Sea to clone. But why would you do that now? I just wanted to know how many we had. I think we did that last time. There are plenty. Okay, fine. The current is coming from this direction, and it's going in that direction. That is the way that if you put a boat in the ocean, the boat will end up drifting from one side of the island to the other. It's kind of the reason we've also put the tunnel in the way that it is facing, because any current is actually going to push you. Yeah, it's now coming in from that side. So it'll actually push you gently into the quayside. Just gently, but not hard enough to make it difficult to sail through there. We're going to use that a little bit over here by rotating this bad boy around by hitting R, do a little rotate, and then rotate again. Oh, we're going to add some groynes, Groynes. It's going to make it a little bit difficult to navigate around the outside of the island, but we've done this before. Why? Oh, just because it looks cool. Oh, all right, neat. Cool. So I'm just going to jam it into the island. I'm not going to go straight out from the beach. I'm just going to go sideways slightly. We've got plenty of space, actually. But I'm just going to play with this a little bit. So I want one end firmly buried in the sand. And then the other side, well, that's floating a bit. We'll sort this out momentarily. Momentarily? Momentarily. Now the question is, this plane wreck has to have an effect on the world that it's in. So, where do we start? Well, we can start here and then work out how far apart these are going to need to be spaced. And that's a good idea. Also, we need to work out the effect of the tide. Let's make sure this is level with the ocean. If you're taking a photograph of the sea, always make sure that the horizon is level, because water is always level. Taking a picture of a river, the river is level. Always make sure that's the level thing in your photograph. Okay, cool. Let's go to terrain. Let's turn... actually, we're on the cog. So let's go here. That's about low tide. So we're just touching the last little I say I-beam, but that's not. A little up right there. And if we change the tide, how far up does it get? So it's just touching that. Change the time of day. It's really hard to tell, but it actually goes between these two. So that's fine. The top two will always be visible regardless of the time of day. at this level. Oh, the other controls are, if you want to, you can actually do a lot of it with the mouse. You can zoom out and zoom in with the mouse. You're actually just physically moving the camera. That's WS. And if you push and hold the mouse wheel, you can kind of like pan around. So you can do a lot with one hand if you wanted to, if you needed to. Might be an accessibility option. I probably wouldn't do that if you can get away with it. Anyway, let's go back to objects. Now we know that's where it needs to be. Make sure we have the correct object selected and hit C to clone, T to transform. And we are just going to move these guys around. We're going to give ourselves a lot of space. And do the same thing here. And I don't know why I keep using the mouse wheel. I mean, I do, but the reason is not what you would think the reason would be. Oh, what's the reason? It's because I've just got in from work and I use Photoshop a lot. Ah, really? Yep, I'm the Photoshop boy. I do Photoshop. Oh, I actually had my hair cut the other day, and the question was, hey, so do people still need photographs? Like, can't they just do it on their mobile phone? You can, but it's not. Mobile phone is still not as good a quality as a decent DSLR, because the physical sensor size on a mobile phone is a lot smaller than the sensor on a DSLR, and light is particles and it radiates out from a source like raindrops, like rain on a wedding day. And I'm just trying to get these all fairly correct. Okay, cool. That's neat. What I'm going to do is fill these in, but we're going to leave this one here. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, but I do know what I'm doing. Yeah, so light radiates out from a source. Unlike sound, which is a wave, light is a bunch of particles. We're going to we're going to read from here, and we're going to choose, pull the amount up and size down. There we go. And then just gingerly click, because what we want to do is just test and see how the effect of that amount slider. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I need to pull the sand out on this side, specifically this side. Let's crank the amount up a bit, give us a little bit more speed. It's better. We can smooth that off, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Some dry sand there. Yeah, so if you have a big old image sensor, you get more detail in your photograph. If you have a tiny little image sensor, you get less detail, and then you have to use things like AI to fix your photograph. Or the way a lot of mobile phones do it is to record a little video, like take several shots and then stack them all up, kind of cheat. Yeah, it's a curious one. So I'm just reading the thing and just moving this out. There we go. And then smoothing it off, crank the mouse slider up. By using the set height tool, read terrain paint height, and then clicking on the height that you want, that means the target value, no matter what the amount slider is, you can never end up with a spike to the moon. So we'll push this back around here. So essentially what we want is a nice big curve that comes out. What we might end up having to do is do it manually. Or we can just turn the ocean off. Oh, but you didn't you didn't praise the sun, and all the shadows are now being weird. Yeah, I know. Okay, praise the sun. Oh, there we go. Done. That's better. Now we can see what the problem is. Well, the problem's quite simple. The problem is that we're raising a lot more sand up on the outside because of this. So what we can do is hit up objects, and ourselves some rocks, and just throw them in underneath. Big rock, come to me. Big Rock 2 is actually probably a better one. Yep. Let's rotate that around. So it's going to be a little fiddly to get this all in. But it'll be, once it's done, it'll be fine. It should be au naturel. Okay. And we can use this as like edging, like garden edging, or like pathway edging, or like we can have the sand all butting up against this on one side, and then a huge drop down to the other side, and these rocks will be fine there. It's like, don't worry about it. All right, terrain. Now we can smooth this off. It's better. And then raise. Small brush, please. Mount slider down, otherwise we're going to ruin things. And then push that into those rocks. Okay. Like I said, it's just a little bit tricky to get the mount slider and everything right, and then like filing off the edges with the smooth tool, knowing that eventually the smoothness of the sand is not going to actually stick. So we'll have to. In fact, if it's the smooth tool, we can rip it up and crank it up and rip the knob off. That was it. Neat. Okay. Yeah, because that's what a groin does. Essentially, just traps the sand as it's going past. Raise, amount slider down, and one day that's going to catch us out. Not deliberately. Nah. Is it going to be subtle, this effect? Doesn't need to be. Okay. Right. Ocean back on. So now we have a bit of a thing. So it's a definite drop one side, and then not so much of a drop the other side, and then straight into the abyss. ABYSS, abyss. Some people will be fine swimming in that. Other people will not. Alright, well, we got to do the same thing here and over here, but not so much in the middle. Don't worry about it. Praise the sun. Praise the sun. Alright. Objects. We can simply clone that, transform, and just just move this around. Shame we can't just copy a whole area. That'd be neat. Oh, that'd be wonderful, wonderful. Clone that. Just move that over. Well, people worry that these rocks are identical. No, actually, no, they won't, because there'll be a load of coral and stuff around here. Terrain, raise. Make sure the amount slider is down. We'll just raise it. Move it up a little bit more. That's better. That's much faster. Speed. Is it speed the key? Not necessarily, but it does feel better once you've got it moving. Let's just move this out a little bit around here. Okay, that's better. Speed might actually help us here. Okay, and just smooth that back a little bit. And then the same thing here. We'll really crank that one up. Okay. And smooth it back. Smooth it back. We might need to just push that in a little bit over there. It's kind of hard to see what we're doing, but then everything is sand colored. Terrain, raise and lower. Mount slider pretty far down. We want lower, not raise. Move it up a little bit. You can always move it up a bit more. There we go. Or crank this brush up. Have it. So this is the smooth height. Smooth height works well enough, even though like the terrain itself is kind of bugged. And then we have another little thing there. What we can do is probably just off there. That was there, wasn't it? Move in a little bit. Oh, I want to raise it up. Oh, just there. And then smooth it. That's a little bit better. Okay, cool. Cool. What does that look like now? Display the ocean. Right, so that's no longer just a big old smooth angle to that beach. We need to do this one here, and then we need to kind of mess this up. Really? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we're going to mess it up. We didn't praise the sun. Oh, why did we praise the sun? Because otherwise the shadows break. Oh, yeah. Praise the sun. There we go. Praise the sun. The shadows. Yes, if you go to Zahadum, you will die. What's that from? It's Babylon 5. Where's Zahadum? That's the homeworld of the shadows. Oh, why will you die if you go there? It's been prophesied. Who will die? Captain Sheridan. Okay, I'm glad we got all that sorted out. Is Babylon 5 any good? Yeah. Yes, it is. It's Paramount production from the mid-90s, and it is actually the inspiration for Deep Space Nine. Really? Yep. So Deep Space Nine came out after, it came up before Babylon 5, but after Babylon 5 was written, because Paramount had the rights for both of them. So neat. And we're going to do the same thing here. We are going to raise and low, raise, mount slider. That mount slider is going to catch us out. Ooh, it's going to catch us out. We want to raise this up. Look at that. It's just a spike. That's crazy. This tool is crazy. And you know what they say about crazy. What do they say about crazy? Well, crazy would say, why didn't the Titanic survivors just get on the iceberg instead of floating around in the water until they froze to death? Were they silly? I mean, they'd already gone past it by miles by the time the boat stopped. Boats don't stop on a dime. Alright, let's raise this up. And what we'll do is we know we need to crank that up and then smooth it back. We'll sacrifice the height. What we don't want to do is mess around with these rocks. And we can sacrifice the height for smoothness. Oh, wonderful. Is this going to work? Yeah, trust me. I know what I'm doing. Do you? I mean, sure. Cool. Smooth that off. Right, what does this look like now? Ocean! That's pretty good, and we might need to do something with this. Just a little bit. Raise and lower. Lower. Really? We could put some rocks and stuff here. You didn't think about that, did you? But I mean, sometimes ideas come to you on the fly. Shoreline rock 2. But what does that do? That gives you the impression there's a reason for this to be the way it is. Kind of lumpy bumpy, gives us a little extra space and we can put something there. This, however, is an aeroplane smashed through it, which isn't great. So what we're going to do is praise the sun. Praise the sun! Oh, praising the sun again. All right. And if you think, we haven't done much, we've done a lot. We have done a lot so far. We'll clone that. And we will clone that. We're tapping C to clone. Could we just leave these rocks up here? Would they float? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could just have an island of floating rocks if you want. Oh. Really? Yeah, you can totes do that. It wouldn't be realistic in the true sense of realism, but it would definitely be a thing. So what we're doing is we're going to imagine that this has been somewhat beaten up by having an aeroplane smash through here. How are we going to do that? There we go. There we go. What's that? This. Smash it over a little bit. There we go. Up in the air. And then we'll just move this rock so it appears to be supporting this. And this one can do the same. Transform it, and then we'll do a little... There we go. But what happens here where the aeroplane is? That, detective, is the right question. Yeah, so this would have had an effect here, but it no longer does. So this has now been smashed inwards. We've got this aeroplane that's scraped its way up the beach. So why don't we do something here? We're going to raise. We are definitely going to raise. We're going to raise some sand out here. I mean, it's still having an effect, right? Gotta have an effect. Do we want to praise the sun? Oh, let's praise the sun. Praise the sun. Praise the sun. Praising the sun. Okay, Brush is not selected. Amount, just eyeball the amount slider. Okay, I'll do that. And then lower. What? Oh. Oh. Yeah. I'll just lower this around the tail plane as if something has happened here. Oh, right. Yeah, there you go. And what we can do is smooth that, crank the amount up a little bit, and then smooth this quite aggressive brushing that we've done. So we can average off the height, take some of that out of the tail plane. There we go. It's kind of fine. And if we want to like refine this slightly to have a little bit of water in here, maybe do the same thing. That slide it all the way down. Make sure we're in lower, and just do a little tap. Just a little tap. We can expose some of that. There we go. Now what's this? Oh, that's part of the aeroplane. I don't want part of the aeroplane showing. That reveals all the secrets of the beach. All right, well, we can just smooth it back. Quite literally, smooth it back. There we go. We will turn the ocean back on. And now we have this. Ah, cool. But, yes. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think maybe something along this side as well. So we can just hit lower. When the mouse slide is probably okay. It's not okay. Let's move it like this. That's a little bit better. And then smooth this off. Cranking that up. That's better. That feels a little less egregious. Just a little bit more like it fits in the world. Let's lower that down and have that sort of under the airframe a little bit. Not connecting these bits up, but in such a way that I'm going to raise this here as well, just to there. So we're still hiding most of the tail plane. That's fine. And then crank that up and just smooth it back in such a way that you still have water. There we go. There we go. There we go. So something's happened here. Something's happened here, and you can kind of tell because these groins have an effect. If you look at them, one side is definitely very deep and watery, and the other side is kind of sandy. Same thing here. Kind of this one's been biffed up and cast aside, and oh, there's an airplane there. Right, but wait. Should there be more? I mean, we can do more. We can absolutely do more. First of all, one of the things that taunts me is the fact that this is just here. We're almost through the sandbar. So why don't we throw a rock in here? Now we could throw a cliff in there. Not cliff 6. That's ridiculous. Cliff 3 though. Which makes a little bit more sense as to why this is not like completely smashed through. There we go. Nice simple addition. But by adding that nice simple addition, it shows that this cliff here kind of also continues, the rock continues underground, and that actually smashed through and ended up there. So in reality, something's happened here. This should also be a little bit more interesting. We can do something by just throwing a little bit of rock in there. Boop. We got rocks there, so it just kind of ties in. We don't have anything here, but what we could do is add something of a tree. Now, I'm just going to select the tree straight away. A ficus tree. Oh, ficus tree 2. Say it ain't so. Yep, we should be able to kind of lay it down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work with this. We've done it before where we've just laid trees down. Yeah, it's going to need to be the big one, isn't it? It's going to need to be the big one. We're going to need to be very careful about how we do this. Why? Well, mostly because we don't want to obscure like parts of the doorway. We don't want to obscure parts of the like anything that we've done. We don't want to obscure it. But also, we don't want the ability for the player to kind of get stuck here. So, although we want the tree kind of leaning over. No, alright, I'm going to check that with Mr. Door. Terrain objects. Door, can you get under there still? Yes. Yeah, you can. Neat. So you can still get under there. Right, and we'll throw some rocks in here just to show that things are a little bit less organized. Big rock. We could. Actually, no, not the big. Maybe big rock, but I think smaller rocks are probably going to be better for this. Let's go with small rock. Where? I'm looking at structures. Why am I looking at structures? That's silly. Okay. Small rock 1, small rock 2. And just rotate it around and just have it sort of like sticking out of the ground a little bit. Yeah, I just want to just a little bit of discord here. Okay, trees. Don't mind if I do. And then what we can do is go with, I think, ficus tree. It's a ficus tree 1. We can do that. Same thing, just angle it slightly outwards. And then never be able to click on it again. There we go. Because you've got too many objects in an area and the editor doesn't like that. So we'll just select something randomly in the background. So keeping this area open, but making it look like, well, there's been a little bit of an explosion. The trees are knocked off to one side. And then over here, we can just have a tree just sort of draping over. Because at this point, the excitement's all stopped. And or at this point, yeah, you can just pop a tree over the top of it, which is what we're going to do. Rotate that round. This tree is actually standing up. And there we go. Should make sure the branches aren't just clipping through this cook pine. There we go. There we go. That's nice. That's nice. Good. We could do the same thing over here as well, and just put a little smaller ficus tree, and just kind of. It's exactly what I want to do. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to set the angle so it's kind of away and down, and then there we go. There we go. Now we know. Now we know. So it looks like there's been a bit of excitement. Oh, wonderful. Is the time of day correct? Yeah, time of day is kind of correct. There we go, everything here. There's been excitement. The plane has now smashed up the beach and it's pushed things aside. The trees are bent sideways. It scraped some of the beach away. And as well, it's done some damage to the structures that were on the beach. These little groynes. Some of them are still intact and others, well, others have been pushed away. Yeah. That's kind of a neat little thing. Let's go up here and have a look from up here. Yeah, it's done a significant amount of damage as this thing has skimmed in and then kind of stopped on the beach itself. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we've added a little story, added a little drama. But everything is just everything's just sitting around, and yeah, don't worry about this here. This will be covered in coral and rocks and fish and other things. We can test it. We can test it by looking in the game, but I'm gonna leave it there for the time being. So, if you like this stuff, and you leave a like, leave a subscribe if you got to this point of the video, and and you haven't actually subscribed yet. That's kind of crazy. Why would you not do that? If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell, and I'll tell you what. I'll catch you next time.